I primarily get tattooed by female artists.
No, they're dope. Like they're way better at fucking drawing than most guys, in my opinion.
I just feel like their sense of color is a little more
that too
in tune.
Well, is it just me, or did I mean, girls are better at writing, like cursive. I noticed girls are always way better at cursive.
I would say that
they wrote notes more. I think in school, at least for art.
They would sit there and practice their signature.
Yeah,
that was something I never did.
I didn't until I made up a shitty one as an adult to sign documents.
And mine is so inconsistent.
Dude,
people are like, can you sign this for me? Like, they want me to sign a poster or something. I'm like, all right, yeah, my signature. I'm left-handed. I'm a left-handed dude, so like,
wait,
I might as well be a
right-handed guitar though.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So I eat left-handed, bowl left-handed. I throw right-handed.
Dude, you made the
bat right-handed. Play guitar right-handed.
Okay, so you do everything that is like supposedly supposed to be right-handed. You're just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna learn how to do it right-handed.
Yeah, just because we live in a right-handers world.
Yeah, it's not. It's kind of scary.
All the left-handed shit's like in the back, like, these are the left-handed scissors. I'm like, why is there only like one pair? It's like, because nobody buys these.
All right, are we set up, Kane? I think going. All right, cool. Yeah, give me the thing. I'm fucking hot and ready, bro.
All right, 3, 2, 1, action.
You talking to me? I'm talking to you. This is talking to me, talking to you. And I got Nick Heffron.
Thanks for having me, Will.
Dude, welcome.
Back again.
Yeah. So it's funny that we got this. I just had your brother.
Yeah.
We did. You guys did too. You guys were both here together.
Yeah.
And then we also talked about getting you and Adam out here at some point.
Absolutely.
And then you just like hit me up one day and you're like, dude, can I fucking come out for a podcast? And I'm like, yes. Absolutely. Let's get a fucking Nick Heffron podcast in. Dude.
Well, Mike told me when he did his solo one, he was like, yeah, when I just went out there and did that, Will said he wants to get you out here too. And I was like,
yeah,
bet I'll hit him up.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why I was kind of honestly like, I had it like this thought. I was like, I'm gonna wait it out, see how it works out. Like if they're gonna come a Sundae Drive, or if Nick just kind of wants to come, and just let it happen.
I asked Adam because Adam lives right down the street.
Yeah, I know.
And he was like, no, we'll plan for that. We'll plan for that.
Yeah, I've tried to plan.
Adam, he's elusive and exclusive.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's his motto.
It will be a good episode when it does happen. I'll have to hold him for like 2 hours. Though. Do the first ever like 2-hour long episode. I'll cut it into 2
He'll
episodes.
Be sitting right here.
We're just talking about the shades. I love it.
Hunched over. Yeah.
Dude,
that's my guy.
I got you here.
You got me
here. So let's
here.
talk about you. So first off, you are like, I said it in the last podcast, but like the most versatile musician that I know for the most part. And when I say that, I mean like you're constantly doing it. Like I know a lot of dudes that play multiple instruments, but you play multiple instruments in multiple bands.
Yeah.
Dude, if you could, because I can't name all of them, could you give me like a decent list of all the bands you play for?
Absolutely, for sure. So,
I'm gonna hold my hands up.
So Sundae Drives is
your main
bread and butter.
Now.
That's my love. That's my passion. I play piano and guitar in that.
Okay.
So I play a little bit of percussion too, but I also play with Abby Weiss.
Yep.
I play drums.
Right?
Yeah. Full drum kit for her. This year I got to play with Chris Kruer.
Okay.
And she usually performs solo. She got this residency.
Yeah, I remember her. We had her out to the last show we did. Yeah.
I know.
She's awesome.
So wild, small world. And I got to play drums with her because she got this residency at Ghost Baby in January. And I was like, man, I've been waiting for some drum gigs. 2020 was, that was so null and void of everything that I was like, man, I miss playing drums. The last time I had played drums was with Abby Weiss, which was like January of 2020 before the whole shutdown.
Yeah.
And I got offered by Sarah Gorak to play with Chris Kruer.
I've not met her. I've seen her a lot of her.
Sarah is a gem of a human.
Yeah. She seems like a really good person.
Also very talented as well. But I asked them, could I sit in? And they're like, what do you want to play? Keys, guitar? And I was like,
see, even that's awesome.
Do you need a drummer?
That's awesome of you to do that, man. Like, you already got all this shit going on. You're already playing all these different bands. You do solo shit. I'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah.
But then you're gonna go, hey, can I just sit in with you guys and play along?
Because it's something not super committal. It's something that I say, it's like I'm happy to help.
Yeah.
I love new experiences. I love, that was my first time ever being to Ghost Baby.
Yeah. Okay.
Was playing with her, and like by the end of it, I had played there like 4 or 5 times, and I was like, wow, that was a cool experience. Mark that off the list. So we're up to 3.
Yep. I had 3.
So I also play solo, but I have people sit in with me here and there.
So I'll give it.
I'll give that.
That's a 4.
We'll give the solo.
'Cause you do
act
that the
a 4.
most.
I do. That's
like
what
I said. We'll get to that. I'm gonna talk about that. We got a couple more.
And I actually just got offered a show with Rosewood Coast playing bass.
Oh, what? And then bass all of a sudden.
Rosewood Coast has awesome harmonies. They're a super fun band.
There's another one. And then there's previous things that like you've had. Like I know that there was a big Infinity Spree was a big one.
Oh God! Infinity Spree. Years. I mean, if we could go back.
Yeah. There's so many.
If you want to, if you want to go back, we can go back. Yeah, right. Nick Heffron was born February 14th, 1992.
The second
he was
day
raised in the wet. Right.
Yeah. His third day, he was in 6 bands. God bless, man. No, man, it's your thing.
Absolutely. I am just kind of a glutton for experience.
Yeah.
I love to play with just a multitude of acts. Oh, I also play in Blue Water Kings, which is a wedding corporate band.
Okay, dude, and that still counts.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
That's probably some of the best ones.
I get to play, in that group I get to play with like tons of jazz musicians and like some of the just most killers in the whole city.
Only dudes like you get to sit in on that kind of stuff. Man.
I mean, to me, I consider it me just like sitting in because those guys and girls are just.
You know Dylan, right?
Dylan
Roberts.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I feel like he's like among those types. You know what I mean? Just knows the theory, knows the curriculum of music 100%.
Everybody in this band pretty much does music for their living.
So do you know it? Because you're obviously super talented, and it seems like a lot of it's from your ear. I feel like you don't have. Do you,
a little bit.
Do you know a lot of like traditional
theory?
Learning in theory and stuff that?
Oh yeah. I took music theory in high school. I did actually advanced placement theory, which was the only advanced placement class I could ever take. But yeah, I was super interested in theory because theory is not just about like, okay, these notes work within a chord or a scale.
Yeah.
I was more interested in kind of how pop music works, how it affects people psychologically.
Yeah,
it's like
energy.
Why does it work if you go from a C to an F back to a C? Like why is that cadence why does that work?
Yeah.
And yeah, tension and release is like a huge
see that.
thing.
That's why I felt like you was more of an ear guy because like there is like an emotional tone to like the stuff you're making because like the music that you're like you play in all those bands, but you help create music with Sundae Drives. I assume now you have a lot of old Adam songs, obviously,
right?
But going forward, you're helping more with that.
Absolutely,
all that stuff.
absolutely.
And then with Infinity Spree, where you would write verses and writing songs, and all that, whole songs. So you do like, and that stuff is like I think some of your better stuff. Like you're great in every part of it, but like your writing is really cool, man. Like
thank you.
You do have that pop sensation, that like catchy, vibrance to your music. It's really cool. So having all these projects, you do the solo stuff. That's what you do most of. You're a fucking full-time musician.
I am.
Like you make a living off of playing.
I pay my bills playing guitar.
that's the dream for most people.
So a lot of people ask me this about what's it like being your own boss, and like it's just you play music all the time. It must be so great. And it is pretty cool. At the end of the day, you can say,
it's hard work. I mean, you're hours upon hours of your life,
work,
man.
Because it's. Some days I wish that I could go to a job that, it's just I like walk in, I see the schedule, I'm like, oh, I'm scheduled for X amount of shifts this week. Okay, whatever. Some people complain about that. Some people go into work and they're like, they scheduled me 6 days this week. Oh my God. It's like those are shifts that are handed to you. Like that's money that's handed to you.
Yeah.
because
it is because you're just showing up, you're clocking in, you do the normalcies,
right?
And
you do your job and you leave, which
you're your own boss.
I am, but in that, right, you have to chase every last dollar that you need to make. You decide how much or little you make.
Absolutely.
You can, if you're like, well, I don't feel like hitting this place up, and it's just mainly like establishing all of the connections. You meet venue owners, you meet people that are like, I actually know this guy here. It's like, okay, you have to keep all of this information straight and keep all of your dates straight, and it's all different times. Like this one's a 5 to 7, this one's a 9 to 1, this one's a this.
And I get a little bit of that doing this booking for this. Like I do it a few days out. I don't rush myself, but I'll do 2 or 3 in a week.
Oh yeah.
And like,
oh yeah.
Oh shit, I got him today, and me and you actually almost
last week I almost wound up on Matt Waters.
Dude, that was hilarious. You called me, you're like, yeah, or no, you messaged me, you're like, oh yeah, dude, I'm about to be on my way. What's the address? I'm like, did I double book? I didn't do that, did I? Because I've never done that. Like, I feel like I'm really good about like spreading stuff apart and like not overpassing. And if I do, I try to hit those people up early, like, hey, dude, I think I might have double booked on this. Yeah. But that was funny. That was a fun experience because I was like, in my head, like, did I do that? Did I do that? And you're like, and then Matt showed up. You're like, I should have just showed up.
I should have just showed up and crashed it.
Crashed the whole thing. But then
shout out Matt Waters. Yeah, I love you, Matt.
Dude, he was awesome having that show, man. He was a delight. Very positive, talkative person.
Oh yeah. It was super just cool. A radiant light of a person. You're just like,
and we got super real after podcast, man. We started breaking down like our where we came from and shit. It was kind of cool. I don't get to do that, especially people I meet like from the start. I think I met him at Barnstock the first time I ever met, like, person to person, because I'd seen him around. Sure. But it was really cool to do that. Like, you don't get to do that with like people like right off the spot.
Matt does the same thing.
Matt kind of did that with you actually when we first met you. Like, it was kind of like a very like quick bond almost. Like oh, for sure. Because we did that show, and
the first time I met you was at the other show. Yeah.
Yeah, and you came on and you just like matched the vibe that we were going for. And
well, I was a fan of you guys for
that's what you're saying.
A while. So the fact that it was like almost the fact it was like, wow, I'm gonna be on that show tonight. That's like it was bizarre to me.
It was a wild experience, but it's similar, like just being like open to like people in their discussion and what their points are and shit. Yeah. Like, it's super cool. But back to your music. So do you have originals? Like Nick Heffron originals?
I mean, I have songs that, I played in Infinity Spree and
but just like Nick Heffron.
Like this song was never in a band. It was just written for this.
Fucking me, man. Do you have any of this?
I don't, man.
Damn.
I'm actually working on some right now.
Oh, so you have
I have
a little
some
secret
stuff.
Project.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna blow the doors wide open.
Don't
here.
do it wide open. No, just give it
wide
little
open.
Hints, dude.
We're spilling it all. We're going in on the talking to me, talking to you.
Got this far in, man. I mean, they're gonna hear it.
They better be this far in,
dude. They better be watching.
They better not have clicked off the video by now.
This fucking shit.
I sit here and watch full-length episodes of this,
dude. I do with your podcast too, man. Seriously, I try to do that, man. I like you guys. You guys are fucking digging into shit,
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes we like
just play.
Yeah,
dude. Me and Kate, we just released the podcast not too long ago. It was just me and him wearing shades
and just talking to me, talking to you.
Yeah, and we were just talking about our movies and our lifestyle and shit, man.
In today's age, Mike and I have talked about what if one day that we are just like making the podcast, we just do the podcast, and then like we just say something that just
blows up.
No, it just pisses everybody off.
Oh, well, that's totally possible.
Right. It's just like cancel culture is so real nowadays. It's like we're just kind of riffing about stuff, but sometimes our views can not always align with everyone else's.
For sure.
Which is kind of the whole point of podcasting. Is that
I agree.
It's a niche, and if you're not for it, then click off.
You're getting people's opinions. What do you expect?
It's just opinions. I just wouldn't want anyone's outlook to change. But at the same time, if it's something that they didn't know about me, now they know.
Yeah.
So there's really no
if you look
apologies
at it,
needed.
The way I look at it too is like, say you do say something that pisses off a lot of people. Like, if you're coming from a genuine place and you kind of believe it, and it's not like super fucked up, like it's not like you're not like attacking like a group of people or something like that.
Yeah.
Which even if you are, if you can make it make sense to why you're saying it.
Right.
A lot of people will support that no matter what.
And I mean, if it's just ignorant and cruel, that's just one
and
thing.
I think if people are hating on you and starting to dislike you, and like you start seeing some negative stuff about you,
you gotta have
you're doing something right, because enough people are paying attention to.
All content creators, take this into consideration. If you upload stuff on YouTube, YouTube doesn't like it if you have no dislikes.
That's true.
You need to have dislikes.
Yeah.
People need to watch your video and say, I hate this, and put it down. And YouTube's like, all right, this thing's starting to gain some traction.
What's the number one disliked video on YouTube? Isn't it fucking, it was, okay, the new one was like that YouTube Rewind. I think the one from a few years ago, they're at the top.
Oh, the like year-end rap thing?
People got pissed off about it, but Justin Bieber's Baby held the record for the longest time.
For the most dislikes.
And look how famous that fucking guy is.
Oh, yeah. I mean
J
Biebs had a super rough transition from like child star into like adult star.
He's figuring it out.
But man, oh no, he figured it out. He figured out that he's like not just some Justin Timberlake type of dude. Like he actually is kind of like an R&B singer within like kind of the hip hop community.
Yeah,
which I think is
very cool.
An interesting route that he
found
took.
His place. He found his place, I think, especially because it's a hard transition being a pop star.
Right.
So, like, I mean, look at all the lives it's ruined. Yeah. And fucking, we were talking about that too, man. Like that conversation we had at Crunner Circus. From my perspective, all I seen was mostly mainstream media stuff until about 18 years old, and then I started going around the circuit of like local stuff and just meeting real people that really do it.
Right, and just finding stuff that you actually enjoy. It's not kind of like this labor of love of you saying, oh yeah, I'll go out and see this person perform because they're my buddy, like I don't care if they suck or anything. I'm just going to go there and throw them a thumb up like, love you guys. Well, you guys are trying. But no, I mean, there's so much talent within this city alone.
You'll find your shit that you like. Like, you don't have to like everybody's shit to show up and support their stuff and like understand that they're working hard to do it.
Yeah.
And once you do that, there's appreciation in it. You'll clap after it. Even if, like, you ain't got to go and listen to it on your phone, on the radio or Spotify or whatever.
Right.
Just experience it there. Take in that experience and then walk with it.
Exactly.
Because it's better to be appreciative and understanding and listen to people's or view it, because art isn't just music, but to come off with that instead of just like having a stickler judgment on what you think is good.
Sure.
Because what you think is good is not good.
Right.
Like
it's
seriously,
not.
like if I was like the music I listen to, which is like super grungy alternative, emo kind of hard rock stuff, that's like only been popular for about 5 years in like real media.
And
not even
the internet age kind of showed me that there is a place for everyone. Like people
100%.
always want to say, I would love to put my music out, I'm just so different, I don't think people would get it. It's like I've heard stuff on the internet that to me is like unlistenable. God awful. But you look at the views, you look at the comments, and you're like, people like this.
Love it.
Buy
the albums.
Buy their stuff. Support everything they do. So after realizing that, I was like, well, I may think it's unlistenable, but that's just me.
And you can also look at like guys, like as for example, is like Corey Taylor, the lead singer of Slipknot.
Sure.
So he did all those albums with Slipknot, and dude,
he just keeps going lighter.
I'm a huge fucking fan. And Stone Sour's its own thing, and that stuff's pretty cool.
But
too.
Isn't he going like Corey Taylor? Like he's like a country artist now.
Well, I don't know. I know he did like the rap stuff. So that's what I was gonna say. Is like I was a huge fan of Slipknot.
I grew up listening to that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then he started doing the Corey motherfucker Taylor.
Yeah,
is what he calls it. And like, dude, I mean, that's just something that I just don't support. So I kind of like hatefully like unfollow all the Slipknot stuff because as a fan of it.
Okay, so
it just
I was just about to say, it's like, okay, you didn't like that.
I shouldn't,
but that has nothing to do with Slipknot.
It doesn't. But just but that's the fan in me of something, like when something
you feel betrayed.
Yeah, you do. And like, but understanding that I still love Slipknot.
Yeah,
I still love that band. I just like. I
was gonna fight you if you say you didn't like it.
No, I definitely like Slipknot. But dude, it is though. But that when artists change up like that's it is slightly different if you become a fan and then it switches on you.
Right.
Unless, I mean, that they've always been experimental. Like people, there's a lot of
which Slipknot was kind of an experimental thing when they came out.
Yeah, I mean, they have 9 members in their band banging on steel drums and all this crazy shit.
And doing kind of like rap metal stuff in like the late 90s.
I loved it.
Which, yeah, I mean, that whole thing was kind of blossoming at that time.
And that like mixes in you. I mean, you kind of, and all the different bands you play in, you kind of
over the years, like I said,
much.
If you wanted to do a deep dive into stuff, and you wanted to bring up pictures, I mean, there are pictures of me out there like headbanging, like huge long hair, like crab corn. Like, we did the whole metalcore thing.
Fuck yeah!
Oh yeah.
I was in it. I played metalcore for a while too.
Yeah, man, chugging out those breakdowns.
Oh yeah, dude. Oh yeah.
And I'm still friends with a lot of those people from that scene.
Yeah.
And then I did like this kind of indie kind of girl pop thing.
Yeah.
Right before that.
Right before it.
Right before that.
That's
and we were playing shows with like Walk the Moon. And
so you got to play with them?
Yeah,
really,
a good amount of times.
That's really cool.
right before they hit. And then after the metalcore thing, we then went into like electronic jam.
Okay.
And started playing like hippie festivals and stuff.
Yeah. I that was like right before I met you guys.
In 2 years, we went from opening for Emory to playing to like drugged out hippies in a field.
Fuck, guys. What are you guys doing? You're just like, hey man, we're fucking musicians. Let's just fucking do it all.
We like it all too. We like it all. It's not like
no, it's cool. You guys are like really. You like the experience of it, like any and all, and like I get that from Mike too. I mean, fuck the new ventures he's on, dude. He basically stopped playing music,
right,
and has moved into like this entrepreneur video lifestyle, and it's wild to see, man, because it's hugely different.
And that kind of took hold when we were doing the LED video company. What LED signage company.
I don't remember that. I don't think you
about that. Mike and I and a business partner started a LED signage company back in like 2017. We had a few clients. Our biggest one was Land of Illusion out in Middletown.
Okay.
And we like redid the whole face of the thing. But that was kind of a different element of working for yourself.
Yeah.
Which then COVID kind of derailed us.
Okay.
But within that whole thing, he kind of found himself in this entrepreneurial state because that is exactly what we were doing, and he was taking interest in a lot of like entrepreneurial speakers, and just kind of then if you go back on his YouTube channel, you can find his like first YouTube videos that
I've seen him.
Right, that
I like
just
the switch
talking
over
about.
I like the switch over what he's doing now. Like
those are fire.
And I think you guys doing all the different music and all the different
and we still find ways to work together.
That job that you had, that you guys started that business with, and then like that kind of crashing from 2020 into like, I mean, you're obviously running with Sundae Drives, you're working with Adam, you're starting to like really write music with that guy, which he's been busting out bangers.
All he has is bangers
for fucking
I will
a
say
decade plus.
I will say it. I will take it to my grave. That guy has only bangers.
Dude, it's crazy.
He doesn't write like a single song that I'm like, that one's all right. Not as good as your other stuff. Like everything he writes is like, that's fire. That's fire. We can make that fire. We can make that everything.
And it is, dude. It's a mirror of itself. The universe mirrors itself.
Sure.
You could say the same like for like karma. I don't really believe in like karma, but I do believe like, if you are genuinely good to somebody and to people in general, like other people take notice and people do that to you.
Or you get back what you put in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like if you put in good into the universe, and you get it back. But I appreciate you saying that going back to me writing my own music thing.
Yeah.
You had Jake Dyer out here.
Yes.
And he said something that I was like, oh my God, that's me. Me and this dude are the exact same person. You were talking about how he sits in with all these bands.
Yeah.
And he sits in, he plays piano, he plays lap steel, he plays guitar, he can sing, he can do all this stuff. And he was talking about how he likes to support something that's already there.
Yeah.
When it comes to like writing words and writing melodies is where it gets lost. And I was like, oh my God, I didn't think there was anybody like me in this world.
Okay, yeah. And that makes a lot of sense because I think
of what I do, of like playing with all these other bands, I like to sit in with them and enhance what they're already doing.
Yeah.
Because if an idea is already there, I can make it better.
Yeah, because of your experience just in every form of music.
It could be like one note. It's like, what if we just had this one note ring?
Well, maybe that's what it is, man.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe that's what it is. Maybe there's a deeper thread of like within musicians, because I have the same problem, dude. I mean, I helped, Seeing the Funnies develop a little bit of the ideas in Softpack. Just like a few little things, very small ideas, they were like just like placement stuff, very simple stuff. But I'm way better at that than writing songs.
Same.
And I think that comes to the pure pressure of writing a song. There's a blockage. It's almost like telling yourself to go for a run. It's like, I got to do it. And until you like are actually running, you're breathing hard. That's when like it really kicks in. You're like, oh, I'm writing a song.
And I just feel like songwriting is so based in
yourself.
Well, yes, yourself, but inspiration.
Yeah.
Is that sometimes I feel like, oh, maybe I just got to write a song, and I get the guitar and I'm like, what am I going to write about? Let's see, I could write about this. And then after a while I'm like, this isn't even genuine. This is, I'm forcing
finding
this out.
Shit, yeah.
I'm just writing a song for a song's sake.
Yeah.
And I prefer to write from an experience, from something that like actually happened to me, to kind of let that live in that.
Yeah.
And most of the stuff that I've written in the past is like the lyrics are kind of cryptic. I know what they're about and like who they're about and what they mean, but it's all open for interpretation.
And that's what the best.
But it is pointed, so.
He's pointing at you, man.
I'm talking to y'all.
and that's what's super cool about it, because that's what art in general is about. Like growing up, you heard it probably from your teachers. Like books, when you read them, are interpreted by the reader. You know what I mean? So like those messages and conveyed thoughts are for you to put together yourself.
Right.
And then discuss later in book club.
Exactly, because you can get fresh perspectives. Like we all read the same words.
Yeah.
And we all read the same story,
but different imagination.
Exactly.
Because all of our cylinders spark differently, you know, like, and that's super cool. And like, I think that's like a reason why I like your guys' podcast, is because you guys are just kind of like open, filter. Like, dude, like you guys, it's because I know you guys. We'll talk behind scenes about shit, and you have some pretty funny, rough conversations. But you guys like kind of display that on your podcast, like, hey, like this is what we think about shit.
Yeah.
And like, I remember I watched one, and you guys did some depth research about like this conspiracy to
of John McAfee.
Yeah. Which I was like, wow, like I felt like I just watched a news fucking report,
Right. And we kind of took a break from the podcast because we were just kind of to the point where like we would write down topics of where like, okay, if we talk about these 5 things, we can fill up the time. But we'll get to like the second one and go off on a giant tangent that leads into all these other things, and then the episode ends. It's like we didn't even talk about X, Y, or Z.
Yeah,
and we don't even really like save them to the next one. And then sometimes we'll start it and be like, "What are we going to talk about today?" And we're like, I don't know what's been going on. And then we kind of like look stuff up. But the John McAfee thing, I actually did the research on.
Yeah, you had bulletin points, it seemed like.
Well, those were mental bulletin points. but yes.
See, I write this shit down. You guys are just thinking out loud, like, fuck it.
So after that, I kind of really enjoyed that. And I was like, we should probably do a lot more like pointed episodes about certain things, instead of just kind of like, here's this stream of consciousness kind of thing, which people do like. People will hit me up and be like, when you guys were talking about the like McFlurries or something, I super felt that. And I'm like, we talked about what?
Yeah, you don't remember.
Okay. But
because that was probably a random gestured conversation that just popped
exactly.
up. And dude, I feel that because a lot of these are like a genuine just thought for me. I have shit written down, but like half the time I don't even look at it.
I know you got a whole like web of stuff that you were gonna get to.
Dude, I've been starting to really like think of like good questions. I normally like I'll come in and ask Caden, because like Caden normally has like what the viewers want to ask. Like he's like
Caden knows what the people want to see.
Yeah, he's got the questions that people want. So, but with the podcast, do you have like a new ideas that you want to do in the future?
Yeah, we want to do a lot more kind of guided research about certain things and really showcase that. We want to get a lot more guests because there's just, when you're doing research, you could do a bunch of research about something and then put it out and people will be like, I never heard of that. I don't really care about that.
Very true.
So when you have guests, it's so much easier to just kind of be like, let's just dig into them and then we can ask them about things.
Oh, it's 100% easier.
Right. But also just making it a conversation, not just like an interview type of thing. Like,
sure.
Then, what did you do then? Then what? Then what?
Yeah. Which is
everything you say can and will be used. Yeah.
It's super easy to get lost in that too, especially like me doing it. Like people, like there's people that are super talkative, and then there's people that are like a little more shy. The people that are a little more shy, it could be due to cameras, it could just be due to the environment. I try to make it like friendly environment.
Sure.
But that's just it is what it is, and like you can tell, and so that like puts it on me to like maybe convey more conversation and get those people to open up and to just kind of talk, because it does feel like an interview sometimes, and everyone's going through different shit in different parts of their life,
right?
So it is what it is.
It is kind of a weird thing if you're not used to it.
It is.
If you're not used to like sets and cameras and stuff, all of a sudden,
lights get real bright on you.
Caden says the 3, 2, 1 clap, and then they're like, "Oh God, now it's real."
But so I feel that though. I have plans with this podcast specifically that like I kind of want to like turn it more into like a condensed like 30-minute show too, and like
we were talking about doing that too, because the McAfee thing was like 29 minutes.
It was good. It was really straightforward. I like topic wise wasn't like the most like suggestive topic for me personally, but like because I like you guys and watch it anyways, I was like, it's really well done.
Yeah, we are conspiracy guys.
Yeah, which I didn't know that at the at
really?
the time. No, I knew you kind of were like from the old days, but
and it's not that we always are just like, oh, we want to believe the reality that, lizard people run the country and there's like devil worshippers that sacrifice babies that like run the countries.
Crazy shit.
Right. It's mainly just kind of like never settling for what's presented to you.
Yeah.
Just
always ask questions.
Ask something. Yeah. Never just get it spoon fed to you and you're just like, well, that is what it is. Like, did it taste good?
Right?
Like,
in that podcast you made that a point, right? Yeah, that's why I do remember you saying that, and that's a great point to make, is like ask questions, don't just accept shit, because most of the time it's not
what it is. And we wouldn't be such conspiracy theorists if that it does come out fucked up.
It does a lot of times. It feels weird.
It's like, I don't want to believe that, but then more things come out and you're like, oh man, that's really fucked up. And then it happens over and over again to the point where you're like, then they feed you some other story and you're like, wait a second, this is some boy you cried wolf shit. Like, I am not just gonna just eat this up. Like, hold on, who is this? Who is that?
Let's look at the names. Let's look at the documents. Who had business insights on all these places?
Right, exactly. And those aren't even things that are at surface level. You have to dig in for that. Really, but once you find those things, you're like,
because they are public record.
Oh yeah,
100%.
Oh yeah.
So I like that take on it, and you guys. So you're gonna get pretty vastly like a big variety of different guests. Like, what if you could give me some ideas? Like, who would you like to get on the show?
Oh man, I would love to get.
I'm gonna plug it, by the way. I Get It podcast, the last
I Get It
podcast. It's on Spotify and YouTube and.
I mean, we want to get some kind of bigger names, like more like community figures, or like even do like phone or Skype interviews of like people from across the country. Okay. We really want to do kind of what you guys are doing with like the in-person thing.
Yeah, for sure.
All of the interviews we've done so far have been via Skype.
Yeah.
But with everything kind of opening back up, we also want to get a new space.
Yeah.
We've been doing it in our dining room, and we transform our dining
room.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That doesn't look like it.
No.
And especially because you're starting to put
cat's out of the bag. A cat's on the table. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
We literally like transform our dining room into a whole thing. do the show, and then tear it all right back down.
That's perfect,
which we're no stranger to. When we did Spree 30 Live, we would take our living room, our basement, and just turn it into this like live stream captured thing with live sound and all this stuff, and it would take like 25-30 minutes to set up.
We talked about doing one of those, didn't we?
We did do one of them.
With us?
Yeah.
Did we do one?
Yeah, we did a Spree 30 Live out there.
We did. Oh my God, dude.
That was one of my favorite episodes.
Dude, that's awesome.
We have some improv jams in there that are tasty.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. I'm excited for like all the ventures you guys are getting into, man. Well, dude, thank you so much, man. This has been a fucking awesome podcast.
Yeah, I had a great time. Dude. I thought that you were going to like pull up some old pictures of me from like 2008
we might
from
do
like
that,
MySpace. Like, what's up with this picture? I'm like, oh.
We might do that. I've kind of dug deep sometimes with people, but
you should like do. Have you ever seen Hot Ones?
Yes, I love that show.
When like they do like a deep dive on their Instagram, but just like finding like old pictures, like find them on MySpace. And like dig up like old pictures and be like, so like there's this one picture I wanted to ask you about, and you just like turn it over the computer. It's them when they're like 16 and they're like,
fuck them
when
all
the
up.
hell did you find this?
Throw them off. It'd be the day that I do that and someone gets genuinely pissed the fuck off and just walks off fucking talking to me.
That's great content.
It would be. And I would totally post it, and that would be the trailer.
You need to make a compilation video too. I love your compilation trailers, but just like
I should do like a big like. Yeah, that's a good idea. Thank you for that. I'm gonna use that. That's actually awesome.
It's on camera.
You heard it right here. Heard it right here on the Nick Heffron podcast. I'm gonna make compilations of the podcast. Fuck yeah, that's awesome, dude. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Will.
Rock, and we're gonna do a shake. Yeah.
All right.
Switched hands on you.
Casual and business.
Yeah, I had to do both. Steve did a California to me.
What is that?
Just the slap.
Oh, it's a double slap or
slap that. Well,
or is it a snap?
Oh, so that's. I don't know where that's from, but he did this.
Okay, yeah.
And then I remember people snapping. Is that like a Cincinnati thing?
I don't know.
Man. Either way, thanks for watching, man. This has been Talking to Me, Talking to You.